You're listening to the Daily Sales Tips podcast, and I'm your host, Scott Ingram. Today's tip comes in the form of a clip from the first interview episode of the year on the Sales Success Stories podcast with Jenna Phillips, the top AE at Authentics. Here's what she had to say about the AE-SDR relationship.
I'm very passionate about the fact that if we are going to have SDRs where their full-time job is to prospect, right? Like every single day, their job is to prospect for 5 days a week. My job is to prospect and close deals every week. So the time I have to prospect is just substantially less than what the SDR does. And if I am setting more meetings than the SDR, I believe, and like my boss will roll his eyes at this, I've had a lot of people will, but I believe that's wrong. Like I think I'm failing my SDR if I'm booking more meetings than they are, because I think that an hour spent developing your SDR is a bigger investment into your week than an hour spent prospecting. And I think if we invest in the relationship with our SDRs, it benefits us tenfold. And like, I'm very proud of my SDR at Job. She was like a nurse before. She was an autism specialist before. And then she came in and had never been an SDR before. And we had one SDR who was just absolutely crushing it, but she went all the way up to being number 2 and in 2 quarters. And so the reason behind my investing in the SDRs is if you invest in your SDR, they're going to produce so much more for you, and it maximizes the 2 of your time in a week. So I'm still taking prospecting on myself, but I'm always going to, like, if I have 30 minutes and they're free, like I want to be working on their talk track and working on their emails with them until hopefully, right, we get to the point where they're confident and they're going and maybe they don't need as much of that time. And then I'm investing, in myself and my prospecting. But when they're newer, when they're still learning, like I'm going to do that all day long before I do my own prospecting.
That was from episode 134 on the Sales Success Stories podcast. For a direct link to the full episode and to Jenna's LinkedIn profile, just click over to DailySales.Tips/1083. Once you've done that, be sure to come back tomorrow for another great sales tip. Thanks for listening.